All right. Today is January 11th, 2021, Monday. Like I said, Friday is a half day. You will be with me all day on a meeting. Yeah, I'll have to look at that schedule again. I'll let you guys know. Let me write a note to myself because I promise you I will forget. So I need to check half-day schedule. All right. Wednesday is the cutoff for all makeup work for me. I am not sure what your other teachers are doing. I know that for me, it takes me a couple of days to grade assignments and then get them entered into, let me back up. It takes me a couple of days to grade them in Canvas and then turn around and enter them into Home Access Center. So Wednesday's my cutoff. If it's not done by Wednesday, it's not getting in the grade book. Please hear me. I will make sure that I send an email out to everybody during my conference today to make sure that I remind you. Guys, because it's not just one student, because it's 80-something students, and if all 80-something of the students do 8 different assignments, that's a lot of papers to be grading all at once, which is why I have to have a cutoff. Have to have a cutoff Wednesday night. If it's not done by Wednesday night, it's not going in the grade book and you lose your opportunities. What really gets me is this is not like we've had work days. I believe the last work makeup day was that Thursday before we went on holiday break. So at that point, y'all should have spent your day completely catching up with everything. And then when we came back this last week, y'all should have been just caught up and ready to go, right? There should be no catching up required at this point. You guys have gotten on top of it. So it's kind of out of generosity if we are giving you more time to make it up. There are a few exceptions to the rule, so if you are concerned about anything, please shoot me an email because it is per person basis and depending on what's going on. Moving on with that, today's agenda, we are going to review our Google Meets etiquette, review our class norms, review and recite our mission statement and goals, then go over our science warm-up because you should have already finished it by now. Then we are going to take notes on renewable and non-renewable resources. And if we have time, there is a Canvas math workshop so that we can get a few more practice minutes in for math. Our Google etiquette, please show up on time. Make sure you have a quiet place to work. Have all your supplies and materials. So I've just said we're taking notes today. So you know that means that you need a sheet of paper or your science journal if you choose to do it directly in your science journal. I do it on a separate sheet of paper because I do in color with markers and I don't want it to bleed through. Either way is fine. Make sure you mute your microphone. Do not just start talking until I call your name because I have to hit pause before I call your name. Your video must be on. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you whose video is off. Video must be on. Some of you are in such a dark room, it looks like your video's off. I need you to lighten it up just enough that I can see that you're there. Again, I understand that some of you are not comfortable having your whole face being seen. If you want to tilt your screen so that it's just the top of your head, I'm cool with that. I just need to see that you are sitting there. I am going to give you about 30 because I have to hit pause on the video recording. Okay? Duly noted. All right. What's up? Okay, guys, All right, raise your hand and use the nod if you have any questions, because I do have to hit the pause button. And then sit up fully engaged in your learning. Guys, I'm sitting at a desk. I have definitely learned through the years that I have to be sitting somewhere that is meant to be working, or I'm not fully focused. And then make sure that you leave at the end of the meeting. That is also a district policy. Our class norms are to be kind, be respectful, and be working. Our mission statement, guys, again, I can see you. Please make sure that you're you're repeating the mission statement. We will work together as friends and family. In Mrs. Metz's class, to gain more knowledge, to work, and to learn, so we can all be successful. We will listen to each other, help each other, and encourage each other. We will make things happen and show the world we will not accept anything short of the best. Thank you so much, guys, for participating in that. Our class goal is 100% of Mrs. Met students will show growth. Please read that word growth. I want you to grow each and every day. I'm not asking for perfection each and every day. I'm asking for growth through hard work and perseverance. Mrs. Met students will show growth on unit assessments throughout the 2020-2021 school year. They will accomplish this goal by being purposeful and intentional with their time and learning. Today's learning objective, 4.7c, you know that the earth consists of useful resources. The student is expected to identify and classify Earth's renewable resources, including air, plants, water, and animals, and non-renewable resources, including coal, oil, and natural gas, and the importance of conservation. You will know you have learned this by completing and submitting your notes. So again, today we're taking notes. Our warm-up champs expectation, your communication is a level 0. If you need help, raise your hand and wait patiently. Your activity is reading, thinking, and solving, typing, and drawing. Please stay in your spot. If you're moving around everywhere around the room and taking the computer with you, you're going to make the rest of us dizzy. That way, our participation is 100% focused. That means all of us are focused so that we can all be successful, just like our mission statement is. Give me a minute to open up my Elmo so that we can go over this warm-up. Again, the idea is that you are already done with this warm-up, and anything that you are doing right now is all because you are adding and subtracting information you may not have had that will assist you in the future for understanding and remembering it for tests and assessments. I also want to let you know, in case I have not already, that you do have a science CBA on Wednesday. So tomorrow we will be doing a review. They have one that is set up for us. So I am hoping that it works the way that it's supposed to, because it's supposed to be like a fun little like breakout room kind of a thing. So I'm hoping that it works the way that it's supposed to, because I think it's going to be great. But you know what, guys? I'm going to be honest with you. We have done amazing work going through all this science stuff with our notes and your quizzes, and y'all are doing really well. So I am truly not worried about your level of success on this CBA. I think you're going to do great. All right, our warm-up number 1 says circle all the materials a student would need to choose in order to design an experiment that answers the question, how does mass affect the force that is needed to move an object? So the items that we would use to determine how does mass affect the force that is needed to move an object is a rope, a spring scale, a heavy book, and weights. Because we can use the rope, and we can even use the spring scale. So like we can use the spring scale to measure the mass of the heavy book and the weights. And then we're going to take that rope and tie the heavy book at the end of the rope, hold it up, and let it swing, and maybe it'll hit something and it'll dent it. So you do know that the faster or heavier something goes, the more of a dent it's going to make. Or if the weights are heavier or lighter, so then you can compare the two items together. Good job. Number 2 says, now that you have circled the materials from number 1, explain the steps that you would take to answer the same question. Oh, that's funny. That's what I just did. So we're going to go ahead and just write that down. So I think step 1, I would measure the weight and mass of the heavy book and weights using the spring scale Step 2, I would tie the book and weights to the end of the rope and step 3, I would measure the effects of letting them swing, right? So I would measure or observe the effects of them swinging. I ran out of room. Measure the effects of them swinging. I am going to give you 2 minutes to add or subtract any information that you need to, and then click Submit, Save As, and then make sure that you have a piece of paper and something to write with, or your science journal and something to write with. Submit, Save As on that Cami file so that it does not go away. You don't want to lose it. Because I think that I would like to go and make sure that you guys are keeping up with it. Because, man, these warm-up questions are amazing. I know that y'all may not think so, but as a teacher, I really think that it kind of gives us some of the stuff that we need to look at to prepare ourselves for the assessments, such as CBAs and DBAs and stuff like that. So, at this point, I need you to grab your sheet of paper. Again, you should have all your materials and supplies next to you because you are properly prepared. Because remember, I have a motto, proper preparation prevents poor performance, correct? Some of you have managed to turn your cameras off. How uncool is that? That is not what the district says you were supposed to do. I want to see you. Cameras need to be on, guys. Cameras need to be on. All right. So we all have our sheet of paper. I have my sheet of paper here. And for note purposes, I am going to fold it in half. If you have a blank white sheet of paper, that is absolutely fantastic. That is totally up to you. I use lined paper so that I can keep things more organized because I'm kind of an organizational freak. All right. I'm going to take my paper. If it's lined, I'm going to fold it in half to my red line. I don't want to write in that space necessarily. I don't know why. I just don't. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I might even fold that back. If you have a regular white sheet of paper, then it is totally fine if you just want to fold the whole thing in half. Next, I'm going to title it Renewable and Non-Renewable Resources. So I'm going to be titling it Renewable versus Non-Renewable. I'm going to be writing a definition, and then we're going to draw some pictures to kind of represent that. So I don't know if you want to, I don't know, let's see. I may end up, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, let's say 6. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 26. It's about 4 lines a piece. That's not so bad. So if you have lined paper, I would kind of keep everything that I write within 4 lines, okay? Everything that I write and everything that I draw is going to be between 4 lines. I'm telling you this because I'm about to zoom in so that y'all can see what I'm doing a whole lot better. Okay, so I'm zooming in. And on the left side, see, on the left side, I'm going to write renewable energy. So this is renewable energy. And as you guys know, I tend to write everything twice because I make an anchor chart for my wall. Renewable energy. Now I'm sorry, pardon?
Sorry, but is that how you spell renewable? H-E-N?
No, that's an R. R-E-N-E-W-A-B-L-E.
Oh, the R is attached to the B. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was just into writing.
No, that's an R. I apologize. My R's look funny. That is renewable. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the definition for renewable energy. And renewable energy is, it can be renewed, clearly, or replenished in a reasonable amount of time. So it can be replenished, in a reasonable amount of time. And it's generated from natural sources. I am going to give you guys just a second. All right, so one of the first ones that we might think of that are renewable resources is the sun. The sun is a renewable resource. So I'm going to kind of draw me a little sun just below that. And remember, I'm only going to take up about 4 lines. So I'm going to draw me a little sun here. And when we get energy from the sun, we call that solar energy. So we call that solar energy. Solar energy. Now, there's a good chance I am not going to end up writing all of the ways that we get renewable resources, but we will write enough of them that you will know what to look for when we're talking renewable resources. The next one is going to be from water. So I'm going to scoot up a little bit. And I'm going to kind of draw like maybe some rain clouds in the sky falling into a body of water. And oftentimes this ends up going through like dams where it goes through turbines, right? It goes through turbines. So this is hydro energy. We call this hydro power energy. So we're going to call this one hydro power energy. Hydro power energy comes from the water. Hydro power energy. The next one is going to be from plants, like trees and stuff. So I'm going to draw me like a little tree. Some leaves. And this is called biomass energy. Biomass energy. And they have some big words for some of this stuff. Couldn't they have just said tree energy? Plant energy? Right? So the next one is where thermal energy that is stored in the ground comes up through like, what are those things called? Those geysers. And I think in the video they showed you like where you have, I think they're called geysers that like pop up out of the ground and steam shoots up. And so geothermal energy is kind of like having 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Like here's a little mountain and it's gonna have some like steam that comes up. Put a little blue in there because it is a little moist. So this is called geothermal energy. Oh, y'all can't see that. There you go. Is that better? All right, so this one is called geothermal. Geo is for the ground, right? The Earth's crust. And then thermal is the heat. So geothermal energy. Geothermal energy. Just slightly. The next one we are going to talk about, and guys, remember, this may not be the end-all be-all list. So for renewable resources, the next one we're going to talk about is wind. Think about those windmills, right? We're going to talk about wind. So I'm going to have me a little windmill going. My windmill's not going to be perfect, right? And then the wind blows. So this one, straight up, they came up with an easy word for this one. Wind energy, right? Wind energy. Wind energy. I made that one pretty simple and straightforward. When you are done with that, we're going to go to non-renewable resources, which is going to be on the right side of your paper. I'm going to zoom out so you can kind of see. And guys, don't forget, if you are not getting all this, the video will be posted later. Plus, once I'm done, I will take a picture and I will put it in the assignment, right? So that y'all can get it done and get it submitted by the end of the day. Hopefully we can finish it right now. Hopefully you're able to get it done. So this is what mine looks like right now. See how I have it on half of the paper and then I'm going to put it on the other half of the paper? Recording, so give me a minute. Non-renewable energy. The resources with specific conditions that made them, recreation may never occur. So again, we may never see it happen. The first one that we might think of is coal. Okay? Coal is one of them. I'll give you a minute to write that. The next one is oil. So I'm going to do two different things here. I'm going to draw an attempt to draw an oil derrick. I don't know if I can. So sometimes we see like oil derricks look something like this, and then there's a depiction of like some sort of gloopy thing shooting out of it, and then a barrel. And so this one is oil. Oil is another non-renewable resource. Another one that we see, and you should kind of recognize some of this, because we're also talking about this in social studies too. You know, the economics of Texas. So another one that we see is natural gas. So it kind of looks like a flame. So this one is natural gas. And all of these are called fossil fuels. All three of these are called fossil fuels. So down here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Down here, I want to put fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. And this is all I have for you in terms of notes today. So I am going to zoom out so that you can see all of it completed. At this point, you should be able to wrap it up, take a picture, and submit it. And you can take a picture or a short video, which one is easier for you.